When it comes to brainstorming ideas, I have several different methods that you can use. However, I want to show you the one that I mainly do, and this is word association. Think of this like an improv session, a yes and kind of thing, or a one-word sentence kind of feel. Do this by writing, you can do this by recording your audio. It doesn't matter as long as it's a medium that you can go back to and reference. And don't stop when you have like an aha moment. Keep going. You should just do it for at least 30 minutes straight with no break. And that is because the idea of this is to generate as many different word associations as possible in the shortest amount of time. I'm going to show you my process in different iterated ways. That way you can adapt them and change them as we go. I'm going to start off with the most simplistic version of this, and that's what I'm doing right now. Cat, dog, trunk, car, drive. And I'm going to just keep doing stuff like this for a little bit. Doesn't matter if you spell things wrong. Just fly through it as fast as you can. Penguin shit. And it's whatever comes to your mind. You are word vomiting at this point. You're not going to stop, and you're just going to keep going and going and going and going. I finally just have this thought. Out of all these word associations, this is what literally popped in my head after I wrote bad games, which was bad games I used to enjoy. So that's one idea. Right there, I just came up with an idea, but now I can go over here and we have this list and we're gonna start combining them and seeing what we can come up with. I see bad games again, my brain's gonna come up with a penguin shit. It doesn't matter if they're true or relevant. Driving the speed limit as a gray alien. Just keep going because eventually something's gonna stick, and even when it sticks, you keep going. And the reason why you keep going is because you might find that some of the most ridiculous ideas can be brought back to fit into your content. This can be a fun skit. This can be a fun meme video. This can just be a gameplay video with some friends. Car crash match with a penguin shit could be any game that's gone terrible and you have an annoying person on your team. Bad games I used to enjoy. This could be a top 5 thing. It's just word association. We have 10 ideas that we didn't have previously and might not have thought of earlier. These also can just be as simple as game titles. None of these really have to be exactly as is. You can also riff off these. Let's take this one. GTA 5 is a time vampire. Insert game here. Look at that. We came up with an infinite idea right there. And we start getting these generated ideas, and guess what? Let's get into another form of idea generation with the same word association. So what I'm gonna do is categorize all these into sticky notes like this. And we're gonna color code them and find out where they kind of belong. So we have this pile here. Okay, so let's pull this over here. Animal, okay, terrain, that's an action, that's an animal. As you can see, things start coming together in a little bit of a different way. And I'm not always associating everything perfectly. As long as everything is situated in a way that makes sense to you, this will work. So now that I've separated these all out in categories, let's kind of come over here. We have snake, sloth, elephant, dog, things associated with driving. We have descriptives and locations. I'm going to not fully separate these. You kind of just need to have a little somewhat of an organization feel to it. So that way you can tell what things are what and where they go. Again, nothing ever needs to be perfect. We're just trying to generate ideas. And I know this one takes a little longer to get going. Do it for a literal half hour. You'll see why this helps. You start getting bored noticeably. So this type of gamified behavior helps maintain curiosity in the brain. So now that we got this grid, this lockdown kind of feel where it's like a puzzle piece, right? Start looking and connecting the dots. So what can I do? Let's say I'm being an artist and I am generating art ideas. We can hue shift it to a green Dracula, drawing Dracula without blacks or reds. And we can always wordsmith this a little bit. Monster palette shifts. You need to be able to shift how you think and how you process information to be able to generate these ideas. You need to be open to the concept of play. You need to be open to the concept of mistakes. And it doesn't matter if it's a dumb idea. There's some dumb ideas here. creativity is not a given talent. It's something you earn over time. It's something that you put time and energy into, like any other skill that you can develop. Part of being creative and part of having these creative ideas is taking the chance and not worrying about what others may think, not worrying about what you're thinking of it, and then doing it. You don't know if this is a bad idea unless you've already made thousands of videos on your channel. So right here is something you can do today and it could pop off. You could have probably had 100,000 ideas by now. Half of them were good, like genuinely, but you let yourself get in your own way. Point of brainstorming is to just have a fun creative process that allows you to start making connections where connections aren't normally made. Let's move from drawing. What if I want to create an idea that doesn't involve inside, but involves, let's say, driving. Let's take one of each. So driving, goat, Halloween, light, black, bad games, and snow. I have one word of each. Well, we can be driving with a goat on Halloween. There's the title. There you go. That's one idea. So these one word associations also become little like game cards. All right, we got the dog. What are we going to do with the dog? Dress him up like Venom in the mountains for the snow. And these type of associations, we can come in and start typing out ideas, whether they're good or bad. In the end, it can be super difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Doing idea generation can be boring. It can be difficult. So this is just one way to brainstorm. And as you develop the skill, this is just a nice little one-step process for you to enjoy a different way to think. If you already have been doing this and you're looking for a new way, don't worry. I will share more ideas later about how to brainstorm. So start throwing your spaghetti ideas on the wall and you'll find a couple strands sticking eventually.